Well, hello, everybody. It's Justin Hickson, co-founder of the LA RIA, here with the brilliant and highly sought-after investor and speaker and educator, Mr. Ted Thomas. How you doing, Ted?
I'm just great, just great.
It's great to see you. I think
you.
I'm seeing you a little bit better than you're seeing me. Ted has been kind enough to keep our commitment here and get on line with us to talk a little bit about a webinar we have coming up despite just having optical surgery. I wish you a speedy recovery on that, Mr. Ted, and thank you for joining us. For those of you who don't know, Ted is America's tax lien certificate and tax defaulted property authority. He is really the top shelf of that particular niche, and he's been kind enough to join us in this video series to talk a little bit about the business and explain to the members what an amazing opportunity is for people who are willing to learn.
Well, that's exactly right, Justin. And we can go through details. We can start out with the basics and go to advanced. But anyway, you want to start, let's just go ahead and roll with it.
Okay, great. So I've got a few questions for you.
Oh, great.
That I've written down here. So I want, everyone's heard of tax lien certificates, but not everybody knows exactly how it works, and myself included until I met you, thankfully. And so if you could explain to our members a little bit about how tax lien certificates work, I think that would be a good introduction.
Okay, great. So first of all, thanks for the invitation. I'm glad to be here. And that's a good place to start because most people don't understand it. And most of your audience is probably going to be Californians. So if that's the case, they don't usually sell tax lien certificates in California. But let's talk about what it is, and then I'll transition right into tax defaulted properties. So we'll cover two things, and they'll get it right away. So first of all, every property in the United States has a tax. Now that would mean if it was a house, which everybody's familiar with, an office building, a shopping center, a ranch, a farm, anything like that, everything has a tax. In California, as a matter of fact, it's 1% of the value every single year. Now, if people don't pay the tax, now the local government has a problem because the money from property tax pays for the police, the fire department, the roads, the libraries, but most importantly, it pays 50% of every dollar goes to the schools. So every property has a tax. I'm just going to reach over here on my desk. I've got a big desk. And every property has a tax. And in half of the states, they issue a piece of paper, just a piece of paper like that, and it says tax lien certificate on it. All right. So that tax lien certificate, people want to buy those. Now, this is a very predictable, certain, secure investment. This is a very secure investment. So the local government says to the property owner, you didn't pay your tax. So what we're going to do is we're going to issue a tax certificate on your property. So half of the states sell tax certificates. So stay with me on this for a minute while you get that, and then I'll explain the tax defaulted property. So those certificates are sold, like here in Florida, where I'm talking from today, they have 1 million tax certificates they sell every year. Now they sell the certificate for the price of the taxes. So I can go and I can raise my hand like that and buy that certificate. In Florida, they pay all the way up to 18%. Texas pays 25%. Chicago, Illinois pay 36%. So you could buy that certificate, and then when the property owner comes in to pay the taxes, they buy the certificate back. So 97% of those certificates, the people buy them back. So you can't invest with me. So this is an investment. It's a very safe, secure investment where you invest with the government, and then when the people come in and pay their tax, then you get your money back from the government. So this is perfect for very conservative. You can have your grandmother in this, okay? You don't have to worry about it, because you're not going to invest with a broker or an attorney or a bank or any place else. You invest directly with the county, and then the county pays you back when the people pay. Now, here's the beauty of tax certificates, why people really love them. First of all, they're safe and secure, but if you buy a tax certificate from the government, you buy this, I'm reaching over, you buy this piece of paper from the government, if you buy it from them, you just hold it. There's no work. It's a passive investment. So it just stays on your desk. Now, I can teach people how to do this online even, but we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so next thing, when you have that certificate, you now control the property. The property can't be sold, it can't be mortgaged, it can't be traded. Nothing can happen until the certificate is paid for. So let's say I buy a certificate on your house, and then you don't pay the certificate. Well, if you don't pay the certificate, I get the house without a mortgage. Wow. Powerful
house without a mortgage. Imagine that.
Can you imagine that? Especially in California, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's hard to imagine.
They got real mortgages in California. All right, so that's what a tax certificate. So half of the states sell those, but if you're in California, you can buy these all over the nation if you want, because I can teach you how to do this online. Okay, so that's tax certificate. This is a wonderful investment. Now, the other investment is for the entrepreneurial kind of people like you and me. We like to, let's go buy a deal. Let's get a deal, right? All right, so what happens in all the other states like California, they will send notices and notices to people, pay your tax, pay your tax. But if the people don't pay the tax, what they're going to do is they're going to confiscate. That means they're going to seize the property. Now, the local government's going to do this, as every county in California seizes the property when people don't pay. Then the county doesn't want the property, so they auction it. Now, listen close. They auction it for the back taxes starting bid. Now, people say, how could you buy a property in California starting bid? It's a starting bid, back taxes with no mortgage. Now, let me tell you how big a business it is, and then I'm going to stop. This business is so big that just Los Angeles County, and I've gone to that auction and many, many times, okay? The auction just in Los Angeles will have somewhere between 1,500 and 3,000 properties every year with a starting bid of the back taxes. That's a phenomenal investment. So if you could get it for, so I'm talking about properties, buying properties, not great deals like foreclosures or bank foreclosures, none of that stuff. We're talking about getting 80% discounts, 80% discount. People buy at auctions 10 cents, 20 cents. Sometimes they'll buy for 100% of value. It depends upon what people do when they raise their hand. Now, I'm an auction buyer. Most people learn this. They learn it, and they're learning from someone that's kind of, read the book. I'm a player in the industry. I buy. Next week, I'll be at 2 other auctions. I raise my hand and I buy. So that's what I do. So I teach people. I'm really famous for showing people how to make $100,000 within 1 year, and then they can do it for the rest of their life. If you learn this once, you can do it for the rest of your life, and you can do it in every county. There's over 3,000 counties to do this. So that was a long answer. So tax liens are super conservative. Okay, now that's the one you want for your grandmother or you're really conservative. Women love tax certificates because they invest with the government, they get a check back. So that's what they like. They don't want any toilets, tenants, trash, all that stuff. But you and me, we want to go get a deal for 50% off or 80% off and that kind of thing. So that's kind of what the two are. But now it doesn't matter where you live. I actually teach this class in Singapore. I teach in Australia, all the provinces of Canada. As a matter of fact, when they come on the webinar that you and I are going to do, I'll show them people from outside the United States buying online.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I think even fewer people than actually that knew about this particular niche understand the kind of profits that you and your students are making. Can you tell us a little bit about how that works?
Oh, sure. Well, what they do is we teach them, first of all, when you go to an auction, it's an auction. So you could go to the auction and not get a property. So we got to be serious about it. So what we teach people is, first of all, how to check the properties out, how to choose the right one. Let me show you an auction list. You ever seen an auction list?
Only when you've shown me one.
All right, let me show you one. Let me show you one, okay? All right, and this is an auction list. I picked this. This is a county in New York, okay? And they show you the pictures. Can you see the pictures?
Yeah.
They're going to sell every one of those properties, starting bid, back taxes. Look at how many they got. This auction brochure, there's 300 in here. That's just one
county.
Just one county, and there's 3,000 counties. All right, now let me show you a tax lien list. I got one of those too. Here's a small tax lien list. This is a small one. This one only has 20,000 certificates. 20,000.
Wow.
All right, so we teach them all the step-by-step process. The entrepreneur person wants to buy tax defaulted property. The conservative investor and the people that really want to make sure they don't have any problems, they want to buy tax lien certificates. So we have people, and I'll show you videos. As a matter of fact, why don't we just take a break right now, and I'll introduce a short video, and then the people can see that, because that's all the time we have for this particular session, okay? All right, now the person they're going to see is they're going to see a woman from Canada, okay? And she wanted to buy, and she had a lot of trouble, and the reason she had trouble is she had been trying to invest her money for like 15 years, and she could never find a broker or a financial planner or whatever. So I taught her how to do it, and she did this online. So the people that are going to see this video right now, they're going to see a woman buy online, and listen to this. You'll appreciate this because you understand numbers. She gets a 40% annualized rate of return on her investment, 40%. Here she is. Her name is Deborah. We'll be right back.
My name's Deb Murphy, and I'm here in Kelowna, British Columbia. I had purchased my first property. I bought it for $24,000. It'll sell for $70,000. I'll probably list it around 75, 76, and it'll sell. I did it all online, by phone and by computer. Ted's material showed me that I can depend on the county records, what's online as far as property appraisers records, what's online as far as all the documentation around a property, that I could depend on knowing 75% of what's going on with that property without even stepping foot on it. So there's just so much more available online, and that's why we can do it successfully now from Canada. Ted really fills out the full picture. He wants you to be successful.
Justin, that's all the time I have for this afternoon, but let's make another video tomorrow and tell the people more. What do you think about that?
I think it's a great idea, Ted. We're very excited to bring this to our members. You know, we're going to do a series of these videos, guys, for you to check out, leading up to a full webinar, live webinar. We're very excited about this. It's an exclusive presentation for you guys. He's going to give us a full overview of his business, and it's going to be Monday, October 30th at 6 p.m. So please, everybody, mark your calendar. Make sure you go ahead and register to the right of this email and look for more emails in the series leading up to the webinar. And until then, happy investing.